Hey everyone, it's Dick here. In this video I talked to Kyle from Lanes Yamaha in Watkins Glen, New York. I've known Kyle for a few years as the friendly face behind the counter at Lanes. Over the past 2 years we've developed a friendship over our mutual love of bikes and cars, as well as through his helping me deal with recovering my bikes from a fire. While we were over in New York this summer, Kyle made some time to show me around the shop and talk to me about one of his prized bikes, his 1986 Yamaha V Max. So this is an 88?
This is an 86.
86. So this is first
gen.
run.
Yeah, first gen. It's the second year they made them.
Okay.
It's either 92 or 93. They beefed up the forks, and they also did a dual piston caliper in the front for better braking.
Didn't they do something with the valves as well, or was that 2007 or whatever that they did?
2007 was the second gen.
Okay.
But otherwise, that was the only change that they have made, and that was it. Now this has Vboost.
That's what I was going to say. This has the Vboost.
Oh yes, it has Vboost.
Does it tell you when? It's around 5,800 RPM or something?
You got it. So at 5,800 RPM, this thing turns into
a monster.
like an inline 4-cylinder super bike.
Okay.
And I believe that's why I like it so much, because it literally turns from a pretty docile bike with a lot of torque, and then you get it up to that range, and then it just completely turns into a sport bike.
It's the variable valve timing or whatever, isn't it? Like between 1 and 3 and 2 and 4 or something?
There is a servo motor in there.
Okay.
And what it does, it starts pumping a ton of fuel into 2 more carbs.
Yeah.
And that's where that V-Boost kicks in.
Okay.
And I do have to tell you, I know it has the trip there is only at 21 miles, but I can only get about 85 miles out of this before I need to fill the tank up.
That was one of the things, was it? It was fuel efficiency was
yes,
like
there is no fuel efficiency whatsoever to this bike. It definitely holds that mantra of you cannot pass a fuel station with a V Max. You have to just stop at every one. And that definitely holds true. I can't believe how often I'm at the fuel station.
It's like driving a Ferrari, though. You know, you go from fuel station to fuel station, but it's a grand old time to get between fuel stations.
It is. And what's interesting is that the fuel tank, this isn't the fuel tank.
It's under the seat, isn't it?
It's under the seat, and there's these 2 levers that you have to hit at the same time. There's one right here, and then there's the other one right here, and then you just push them forward.
That's how you refuel it.
And that's how you refuel. Yep, and it's got the original tool kit here. It's been...
And how many miles does this have?
19,000.
19,000, wow. From 86.
From 1986.
And it's shaft drive, isn't it?
It's shaft driven. Yep.
There it is.
Yep. Before I had gotten new tires, the customer who had this before didn't have the proper tires on here, so there was a lot of speed wobble, a lot of that going on. So I thought doing a fork race would alleviate that. It did, but it didn't do it 100% until I changed to the actual tires that are literally made and engineered for this bike only.
Oh, all right.
These are exclusively only for V Max 1200s. And they still make them.
They still make them?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're not cheap. But
I was going to say.
As soon as I put these on,
change the bike.
If I knew how much of a difference they were going to make, I would have done it that would have been the first thing I'd have ever done.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about the V Max is the unique air boxes. The air,
Now, they are faults.
Really?
They are faults, but not on the second gens.
Okay.
The second gens are functional. That's actually just cosmetic.
That's weird.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they went through the whole process, even if it's false, they went through the whole process of putting screening and vents and other stuff on it.
You got it.
So it's just cosmetic. Because it was one of the love-hate things about the VMAX was those air scoops.
Absolutely.
And the fact that the air scoops are pointless.
Yes, they honestly are. I thought they were functional, and I thought the second gen was the one that were non-functional.
Okay.
But it's the inverse.
It's the inverse.
Yeah, I completely had that boogered up. I thought it was the other way around, but no, that's just literally for show.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I didn't think that was the case.
What's your take on it? Like you said, you come from fast super bikes.
It requires quite a bit of skill to operate.
Okay.
You have to use the back brake a lot.
A lot, okay.
Because it actually helps you steer. something, I'm coming from a sport bike background where the front brake is used almost 95% of the time.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just the way it is. So, and again, it's almost a dance with this machine. It's not someone that can just hop right on it and go. It takes some familiarity with it. You got to feel it out, and I think that's why I enjoy it so much. It keeps my mind going.
Yeah.
And it just makes for a fun ride. It's a raw bike. It's from 1986. It's just a few years older than I am. And again, I can't believe I'm enjoying something this old that much.
So it's 18 and 18?
15. Is that 15?
15.
Yep.
Okay.
So 150, 90, 15 for the rear.
Which essentially gets you to 18 because of how thick it is. So the rim's 15, but the amount of rubber gets you to like a 17 or 18.
And then that's a 110, 90, 18 for the front. And then there's also one thing I forgot too. That change they made in 1992 or 93 year, they changed the wheels. So they don't have this, it's more of a solid mag wheel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it doesn't have this
the kind of angled spokes,
so they did away with that too. I'll tell you one other thing too is that I get respect from Harley owners.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I went into town, there was about a dozen of them coming the opposing way that I was. We both had to stop.
Yeah.
And they all gave me a head V Max. They gave me like, usually you don't get praise.
No.
At all.
That's so.
And it was, I couldn't believe it. So it gets a lot of respect when people see these machines.
Yeah. Also, when you see them on the road running.
Yeah.
Is that stock exhaust?
Stock, yeah.
Look at the chrome on it. That's so cool.
Stock. Yep. I mean, people drill them out. These are one of the first things that goes on these because they have such a great sound. They've got that, they sound like a small block V8.
Yeah.
And it does. It's got that rumble to it.
Well,
and,
it is the motorcycle equivalent of a V8.
Yes, yeah, it is.
You know,
it definitely
you get a V4.
Yeah.
There's very few bikes that are as powerful, as gritty
now
as these.
We're seeing the V4s in the modern leader bikes.
Yeah.
You know, you've got Aprilia running a V4. You've got Ducati running a V4. So these V4s are coming.
Honda's always had a V4.
Yeah. Honda has. Yep.
Yeah. I always try and get as close to a single cylinder as possible.
Yeah.
Because there's only one carb or one fuel injector or one ECU.
I totally agree.
Because I was going to say, you have the luxury of working here.
Yeah.
with expert mechanics.
I would not own this because I am not as mechanically inclined.
4 carbs?
Yeah.
4 carbs.
And if you look at a diagram of the carburetors themselves, it's very, very confusing, but from what I've been told, they're actually pretty easy to work on.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're not that bad.
And I guess since that's not a fuel tank, it's reasonably easy to get to.
Yeah, it's there's a key, a key lock right here.
All right.
And I honestly, I've never even lifted this up. Craig has, but
you let your man do that.
Yeah, you pull this up, and right there is going to be your air box, and then also there's a little storage compartment.
Okay.
You really can't store anything in, and then underneath the air box are the carbs.
Okay.
And a lot of people will do a stage 3 kit, a stage 5, a stage 7, a stage 5. I believe has been discontinued. And those stages are K&N air filters, bigger jets, so on and so forth. So it just goes from there, and people go wild with these things. And that's why I like having it stock.
It's stock.
But other than that, I mean, there are a couple little blemishes right here.
Well, I mean, it's,
you know what
she's
I mean?
an old girl.
Like,
you gotta take the wrinkles.
And also, she's been collecting dust. So because of all the rain we've been getting, and I don't like getting this thing dirty at all. I don't like bringing it out in the elements. So.
Well, I'm honored that you're letting me ride it.
Oh my! I can't wait for you to ride this thing and to hear what you think about it. And again, you can go wild with it. One other interesting aspect of this bike is that. I know if you're in the sun, sometimes it's hard to see. When this fuel light comes on right there,
you got to get to a gas station.
What happens? The fuel pump shuts off.
What?
Yes. So it scares you.
Yeah.
So what you've got to do is you've got to turn the reserve on. And what that does, that turns the fuel pump back on.
Okay.
So what that is, that's to scare you to get to your nearest gas station.
So literally, they knew.
Yeah, this is literally a fake reserve.
Yep.
It's not a reserve.
It's just a fuel pump.
It's literally to turn the fuel pump back on.
That's so funny.
It scared the heck out of me when it first happened.
That's so funny.
Yep. And literally, I can get it. 85 miles on there. I've got to find the nearest fuel station. Again, if the bike all of a sudden starts to take a look, make sure that light's on, and then just turn the fuel.
Can you do that on the fly, or do you have to stop?
No, you don't. You do it right on the fly.
Okay.
I was literally almost back to my house.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the bike just started. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to coast it. And so I hit the reserve.
Yeah.
It kicked back on, did a U-turn right in the road, went right to the fuel station. I mean, it scared the heck out of me, but I didn't realize it actually turned the fuel pump back on. I thought it was a really functional reserve.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to go for a ride. Okay.
Please do.
Let me get my gear on.
Choke is right here. You do not have to use that at all.
Okay.
Down is choke, up is turning the choke off.
Okay.
And again, you kind of like blip the throttle just a little bit when you start it.
See.
It's got that.
Good.
That is a V Max.
Awesome. If you like that video and you want to see more like them, hit like, share, and subscribe.